What's up everyone? My name is Sleepwell and today I want to talk about Stargate. I think this protocol is pretty important, so I want to show you what it does as well as explain why I think it will be a big deal in DeFi. It's got over $3.5 billion in TVL after being live for just over a week and a half, so it's clear I'm not the only one realizing its importance. On top of that, I've got some alpha about a new protocol that's related to LayerZero, which is the technology behind Stargate, and I will be sharing that at the end of this video. So what is Stargate? Well, in its current form, it is a simple token bridge. You can transfer stablecoins like USDC and USDT between these 7 networks. Currently, that's all that's available, but they are planning to add more networks in the future. And it's pretty good at doing just that. For example, let me show you a transfer of USDC to USDT from ETH to AVAX, and let's do 100K. I would only pay $60 to transfer $100,000 from ETH to AVAX, and I would also be performing a swap from USDC to USDT on top of that, and it would only take me $60 in fees, which is incredibly cheap compared to something like Synapse Bridge, which is another very popular bridge. Let's do the same thing from USDC to USDT, from ETH to AVAX. I would be paying almost $160 in fees and slippage, which is not nice. If you are a DeFi farmer like myself, these bridge costs are eating into your profit. You're always chasing yield. You have to jump from network to network. And if the bridge is charging you $160 one way to transfer your funds, that's just gonna eat into your profit. And sometimes that may not make the whatever yield you're chasing worth it. So having a cheaper bridge is always nice. But is that everything that Stargate is offering? Cheaper bridge? No, it's actually a lot more than that. And calling this protocol a simple bridge would be a disservice to what it could be in the future. To understand the full capability of Stargate, I want to show you the snippet from the video made by LayerZero Labs. And in this video, they're showing what's possible with LayerZero, the technology on which Stargate is built on. So on the left side of the screen, they're showing the steps that you would do if you wish to swap your ETH on the Ethereum network to BNB on Binance Smart Chain with the current tools that are available. And on the right side, they're showing the same process, but through LayerZero and Stargate. Let's quickly watch it. So as you can see, the LayerZero swap is already done, and it's all done in one transaction. You swap your ETH for BNB, you get it on BNB. Pretty simple compared to whatever's happening on the left side. That person is only now gonna bridge their USDC through Synapse. So it's pretty clear that LayerZero and Stargate offer a much faster and better experience than whatever is available right now. This technology would allow for multichain environments to flourish by making this process very simple. But even that is not everything. In the future, Stargate would allow other protocols to integrate Stargate within its flow. Let me give you an example of how something like this would work. Let's take DeFi Finance. one of my favorite protocols. It's a yield aggregator and it's available on multiple chains. Let's say I want to farm on AVAX and I want to find a ETH farm. Let's sort it by AVAX and let's look up ETH. Here it is, ETH farm. I want to deposit my ETH here, but the problem is that all of my ETH is currently on Ethereum mainnet. What I would have to do now is I would have to go bridge my ETH to AVAX, make sure I have some AVAX to cover my transaction fees, and then go to Beefy and deposit my ETH there. What could happen is in the future, if Beefy and Stargate decide to work together, is I would just deposit my ETH here directly from ETH mainnet, and then in the background, Stargate would take my ETH, bridge it really quickly. Usually their bridge takes like 30 to 60 seconds to perform the whole process. And then Beefy would deposit my ETH for me. So it would just be one transaction on my end, and I would get my ETH onto AVAX and then get it deposited into this vault. Would make it very, very simple. And I would be very happy because I don't have to go through all these stupid steps where I find a bridge with liquidity, find AVAX to cover my transaction fees. That would all be covered for me, which is great. And this is actually something that's already happening. Sushi is currently discussing partnerships with Stargate, and potentially they will get integrated in the future. So that stuff is coming really soon, and it would make the whole yield farming and DeFi in general much more appealing because it would make it simple. Now let's talk about the STG token. It's a governance token for this protocol, and it's been absolutely killing it in the past few days. It went all the way from $0.5 to over $4 in the span of just over a week. And people on Twitter are hyped about this. They're writing Twitter threads about how this is the next Cosmos, how it's going to be worth billions, and pretty much doing the usual stuff that they do with protocols that are super hyped. And my thoughts on this is this token is, even though it's hyped, there's not much tokenomics released about it yet. We don't know much about it. So all the price action and stuff is just happening on pure hype. If we go to the front page of Stargate, that's pretty much all they say here about the token. They say STG holders can lock their STG tokens to receive the ESTG, Stargate's governance token. So they're doing this vote escrowed tokenomics, which is pretty classic. It's similar to Curve and stuff like that. However, they don't explain what kind of benefits you would get for locking STG. You know, obviously we're here to make some money, and personally, I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in governance, in pure governance, because there's no value in it for me. Obviously, some other people may be different, but I wouldn't buy a token simply for governance. And on top of that, STG token is paid out as rewards for farming. As you can see here, I'm farming it myself here with some USDT on AVAX. So that just means that there will be constant sell pressure once people decide to start dumping their farming rewards. So yeah, I'm not too confident in this token for now, even though there's a lot of hype, and as you can see, it's still doing well. It dumped a little bit, but it's still doing well. There's a lot of liquidity on pretty much all chains, and people are still hyped, but this is something that you need to know. Currently, there is no clear tokenomics. There is no clear info on what the token will do outside of simple governance. And if there is nothing else that this token will do, I think it will eventually just continue dumping because people are getting it as their farming rewards. So yeah, keep that in mind and make sure you do your own research if you do end up investing. Obviously, people that invested right here, they're still doing well, but the question right now is, would you be investing now? And you should definitely cover all your bases in that regard. And lastly, here's the alpha I've promised at the beginning. There's another protocol that will be developed on top of LayerZero. It's called Interswap, and it's super early. They've got just over 300 followers on Twitter, and on their site, they're still saying that they're hiring senior developers, so it will be a while until this protocol comes out. However, I'm confident that everything that comes out on top of LayerZero will be hyped, so I recommend you keep an eye on this one, and hopefully we will be early this time. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned something new.